All right, all right, all right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
Here we go, my first NBA game. This is something I've been waiting for my entire life. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. But I know this is where I belong. So I just gotta get out there and do what I was born to do. I hope I can make my family proud.
Hello, and thanks for joining us, folks, for this midweek NBA action on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Grizzlies will look to their home court advantage. Just one game here in Memphis. This game against Cleveland is the first time they've met this season. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. They like to change that now.
Yeah, and a bit of a revenge game for them as they were swept in the two games.
Long dream, a special individual taking to the hardwood as we'll get to watch the first official NBA appearance from Baldwin.
Yeah, and whether he has friends and family in the crowd tonight or watching at home, I know a lot of people are proud of this young man. He's worked so hard to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and the future's bright for him, Greg. Not just tonight and not just this season, but for years to come.
A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Memphis out in front. They lead by a bucket. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. Well, earlier we sat down.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Memphis.
Playing a physical brand of basketball so far, and those trips to the foul line have been very effective.
Another thing they've been able to really get going so far tonight has been the three ball, the long-range shooting.
Baldwin, he's in at shooting guard. Carter is out there with Barnes. Then it's Brandon Wright, and it's Udrih in at the one spot. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies.
Move the ball.
Kicks it to Freak. Barnes against Thompson. Udrih, the pass to Baldwin. Just 4 to shoot. No good off the front iron.
You know, Dave Joerger, the coach for the Grizzlies, has really become a big-name coach quite quickly. You know, he's worked his way up the Memphis coaching ladder and has had a ton of success early on in his career.
To the middle, here's Jefferson. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Cavaliers lead by 2.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and, Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Now here's Freak, guarded by Shumpert. It's Vince Carter on the wing. He dishes it to Freak. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And here's Barnes for 3, and he gets the bucket. Barnes has got his first 3 points of the game.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Pick by Varejao. Outside Williams. The screen from Thompson. And Williams, here we go, and it's blocked. It's stolen by Jefferson. Here's Varejao. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
The defense to start and ignite that play was terrific, and I love the fact that they attacked early in the shot clock.
And really look for them now to be even more aggressive on the defensive side. Try to come up with a few more steals.
And that bucket right there, folks, is the first official NBA basket from Baldwin.
Yeah, and he's playing it cool right now, but let me tell you, I'm sure that basket means the world to him. There's nothing like the first one.
My thought is he's probably just happy to have it out of the way. I mean, no more waiting and wondering when it'll come. Those first points are finally in the rearview mirror.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Well, with Freak, Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school when he could be on the NBA clock.
Both teams trading punches back and forth. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
The momentum swings really impossible to keep track of. The energy in the building just keeps going back and forth, ebbing and flowing. I'm loving it.
Down low, out to Carter. Puts up a three. That's good. Carter's got the lead up to 2 now for the Grizzlies. No shortage of drama here early on.
Well, neither team can grasp control of this thing. I mean, both teams trying to get a hold of it.
Yeah, 8 lead changes already. Huge number this early.
Outside Williams. On the wing, Shumpert. Shot clock at 5. And the baseline jumper, no good.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Cleveland with a very strong year last year. They were a very solid team on the road, as most LeBron-led teams are.
Yeah, he's a special guy in terms of how he can elevate other players. Didn't start out hot on the road, but eventually got it together and ended up 22-19 away from home.
The Cavaliers trail by 5. Pick by Varejao. Williams kicks to Varejao. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And back to the Cavs and their road play. Teams with a lot of new players coming in can struggle early. It's especially...
And so we wrap up.
Okay, guys, solid play so far. I like what I'm seeing. But just a few things to talk about before the second half. Such a big part of the first half was the scoring punch we got off the bench. That gave us a whole other element that they just didn't have the ability to deal with.
The second half just about to get going here. We got a line with Iman Shumpert. So it's Memphis picking up the win. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
They certainly put on a good show here at home, and I think they felt they had the edge. And
the 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan player of the game, Marc Gasol. No matter what they threw at him during the second half, it seemed like he had the answer and was able to find all the shots he wanted.
Well, Marc Gasol is right in the middle of the conversation about the best centers in the NBA. If you're talking strictly about defense, well, Gasol is the conversation. It's just not about D, as we saw tonight. He got tremendous offensive game as well. Did you see that turnaround?
Whew. He had point guard numbers tonight, racking up those 8 assists. It was a really unselfish performance. He kept the D guessing all night.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. First game back in Golden State for the Warriors. They're ready to play. This, of course, their first opportunity. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Brandon Wright's checked in for Randolph. Barnes comes in for Jeff Green. Freaks checked in for Allen. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Baldwin, he's in at shooting guard. Marc Gasol is out there with Brandon Wright. Then it's Matt Barnes. And it's Udrich in at the 1. When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. With this chance, let's show you the league's most intimidating shot blocking defenses from last season. Second, the Warriors.
A big part of their defense really revolved around their ability to block shots at the rim. It's so valuable to have that kind of backline protection. Allows you to be aggressive on the perimeter.
Clark, Brandon Wright was moving all over the league last year, all over the map, traded twice, once from Dallas to Boston, then again sent to Phoenix where he finished up the season.
Kevin, he was only with Boston for 8 games after the trade. He seemed to find a better home when he was with Phoenix.
Livingston dishes to Green. Green with a screen for Iguodala. Drops in the tray.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Gasol goes in. Gasol with another miss.
And for Wright, being traded twice, He's one of those players that is so efficient, but in small doses. So really the ultimate bench guy to come in and give you minutes in the post.
Iguodala kicks to Livingston. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Green. Shoots from the elbow. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
You know, I think that will ultimately be Wright's role going forward, a great bench option. Despite all the trades, last year he was still extremely efficient as a scorer.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
No doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
Barnes passes to Baldwin. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Well, I tell you, the Warriors roster fit together hand in glove. They were led by the Splash Brothers, but the front court and the bench really complemented the rest of the team perfectly because all of the players for the Warriors were extremely versatile and highly skilled.
As you're talking about the Warriors, you know, they were built to play with each other last year. The bigs could all pass very well, and that set up the three-point threats.
And then even on the defensive side, I mean, they had players that really complemented each other. I mean, some undersized power forwards who countered with rim protectors. I mean, they also had the length at every perimeter position to switch on any play. So they are equally as adept on that side of the ball.
And Udrih kicks to Freak. He dishes it to Gasol. The shot is off.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his comfort stretching the floor. I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Over in the corner, Barnes. And Wright kicks to Freak. Memphis moving that ball around. Here's Gasol. Great touch on the 16-footer. Gasol's got 8.
Yeah, that's asking a lot from that defender.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he just doesn't have the size to really be effective in that kind of matchup.
Here's Barnes. And Wright pulls it down. And the Grizzlies leading by 4.
And some of Harrison Barnes' teammates have referred to him as the Senator because of the way he carries himself. And, you know, a very level-headed, dignified young man. And just he has an air about it.
Green, the screen. The dish to Thompson. And it's good, assisting on the play with Livingston. Livingston's got 4 assists in the game. Memphis has gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Stolen away. Fast break. Here we go. Here's Barnes. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
It's been a nice game for Barnes. 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
The Warriors shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys.
Right outside, stolen by Thompson. And now running it up the court, Green pushing it all the way.
The defense to start and ignite that play was terrific, and I love the fact that they attacked early in the shot clock.
And really look for them now to be even more aggressive on the defensive side. Try to come up with a few more steals. Man, that is a missed opportunity right there.
And he'll be the first to tell you, Greg, that's one he should have knocked down.
Looking at the last game for the Golden State Warriors, it was a win against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And most impressive when you do it on the road like that. They just kept coming at them wave after wave, and they really kept the crowd on mute in that one.
And stolen by Wright. Now Udrih. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Now here's Freak. He's covered by Thompson. Here's Baldwin. Can't get it to fall. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Grizzlies out in front. They're up by 1. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with Klay Thompson. Tell us a bit about the philosophy behind your game and how this team works so well together.
Yeah, I just try to come out and play my game and stay aggressive, I need to score to help this team win. I think me and the perimeter players doing a good job of that.
Thank you, Klay. We so appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
All right, listen closely, man. I've got a few things to touch on. We're going to turn this from a close game into our game. Our movement off the ball has been fantastic. All you need to do is look at our field goal percentage to see that. You can't shoot the ball as well as we have without good movement, and it has been very good. Now I'll give credit where credit is due. We've taken very good care of the basketball. Turnovers were scarce, and we need to keep it that way. And let's try to play the second half at a moderate pace. Not too slow, but not too fast that it turns into a shootout. That's not what we want.
And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight.
Randolph has been superb. 22 points, and he's done his job at the charity stripe. He's gotten 4 of his points from there.
And that's a good place to get them. They don't come easier than that, but you've got to get yourself there first.
Spates checked in for the Warriors. Livingston comes in for Curry. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Wright is checked in for Gasol. Lee comes in for Jeff Green. Freaks checked in for Allen. And it's Udrih in for Mike Conley. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Baldwin in a 2-guard. Zach Randolph is out there with Lee. And it's Brandon Wright. And it's Udrih in at the 5. And again, Memphis no good.
And Maurice Spates last season with the best year of his career. I mean, he shot the cover off the ball and did a nice job on the boards as well.
Now here's Barnes. 12 points for him. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Green. Up top, Spates puts one up from 19. The shot no good. And Memphis the other way now. Greg, you were just talking about Mo Spates. Clark, he has a great mid-range jump shot.
He does, and they actually call him Mo Buckets. But he actually played so well last season, they even threw in Mo VP from time to time.
Feeling it. No doubt about it. He's definitely feeling it right now, shooting a terrific percentage from the field.
Thompson outside. Back to Green. There's the 3. And again, no good by Golden State.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Freak kicks to Randolph. 8 feet away, and the jumper falls for him. Now just a 1-point Warrior lead.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Faded away to create the space. 19 points for Klay Thompson.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
There's 14 seconds left in the third. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
The Grizzlies have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12.
And their numbers from the line last season, they're good, just not great, about 77% as a team.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fella.
Curry's checked in for Leandro Barbosa. And it would take divine intervention for them now to get back in it.
And even that might not be enough.
Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to say, guys, I don't think the man upstairs is really focused on a comeback.
It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5. And it's Barnes in at the 3 slot. So that's the group out there for Golden State. So it's Memphis picking up the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, I'm here with Marc Gasol. And Marc, how would you break down this game in terms of the team's performance and ability to come away with this win?
Just a good all-around night. We believe that at the end of the fourth quarter, I think we did a good job of, staying in the game. We just believe. On to the next one.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Doris, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, Zach Randolph. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
Well,
and that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, living the dream. Bad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor, upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met in my life. I mean, Izzy was taking second-year college calculus courses as a high school sophomore, right? Straight-A student, full ride to MIT. Izzy had the world at his fingertips. But he was always looking for trouble, and trouble found him. He ran with the wrong crowd. And when we got to MIT, he got this great job working for a financial consulting firm in Boston. But every weekend, he would fly to Vegas. You see, Izzy had a system for counting cards in Vegas that had the big casinos on the Strip. Oh, it's stymied. He would come back to MIT with suitcases filled with $200,000 in cold cash.
What?
Yeah.
So your man Izzy was getting hit off like that?
Like a fat rat in a cheddar cheese factory, freak.
Okay, so what happened to this dude Izzy? Because he's dope.
No, not dope. Dead. After he'd been missing for 3 weeks, the Nevada State Police never found hide nor hair of Isidore. And our friendship took a hit when he asked me to hang out with him in Vegas, and I said I wouldn't do it because I knew he was on a dark and twisted path in his life. And yes, he was my dude. But no way was I gonna throw my life away trying to show my loyalty to a guy who really and truly didn't understand what loyalty was all about.
So this meeting is about Vic.
Correctamente.
Okay, well, sir, Vic isn't Izzy.
And why's that, freak?
Well, for one thing, you and your dead friend Izzy didn't grow up poor. Me and Vic grew up in a neighborhood where we had to look over our shoulder every 2 seconds to make sure nobody was going to walk up on us and rob us.
True. Izzy and I did not grow up in the hood. But we, like you, thankfully grew up in a 2-parent household. But even that wasn't enough for Izzy. He wasn't satisfied. He was always looking for a 5-alarm fire when he already had the warmth and comfort of a loving family. This is not about class warfare, freak. This is about the consequences of making bad choices and risking it all when you feel like you have nothing to lose.
Vic is like a brother to me, sir.
But you shouldn't be Brother Vic's keeper, freak. Would a brother go looking for trouble and put your career and your livelihood at risk by getting into fights at nightclubs and seedy after-hour joints and then scream to the media, yeah, it's all good, I'm an FOF, friendo freak. It's all misunderstanding. Y'all be haters, don't hate my game. I don't think a brother would do that to someone they really cared about, but a guy who looked at you like a meal ticket would.
No. See, you don't understand Vic.
Really? I don't understand.
No.
Look, man, it was a misunderstanding with the guy in the next VIP booth. His honey started flirting with me, so naturally I started flirting back. Next thing I know, Captain Cornball's off my grill piece beefing. Next thing he know, he got a 2-piece and a biscuit on his left eye. Hey, I don't know who hit him, and it damn sure wasn't me. Hey, Captain Cornball's mad because I'm an FOF, friend of freak. Hey, but check this out though. He needs to train that hottie before he leave the house though. Yo, he's hotties ain't loyal, man.
What's there to understand? Are you freaking blind? You know, I just want to know, how much did you pay your lawyers to make all this go away?
Almost 100,000.
Excuse me, son, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said I paid almost $100,000.
Exactly. And if you keep riding shotgun with Vic, you're gonna go broke. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Look, Vic is my friend, and I grew up with him. How many times I gotta tell you, sir?
Freak, this is not a request. I am not asking you to do this. I am telling you to do this. And the first order of business is that Mr. Vic Van Leer is banned from traveling with you on the road. Vic is banned from the locker room. And Vic is banned from this arena. And if I catch this guy, Vic, in or anywhere near the facilities, Mr. Vic Van Leer will be arrested for trespassing.
Are you serious, sir?
Brother, I'm as serious as cancer. We all know that can be deadly.
You know, when me and Vic were kids, playing summer tournaments at the Dome, we always imagined making it to the pros, right? And after the crowds left, just a street light was on the court, like 11:30, 12 midnight, even 1 in the morning sometimes. We used to practice player introductions, running on the court, giving dap, high-fiving the teammates. Vic, he would act as an announcer. You know, he would introduce me and announce my name on a loudspeaker, and the Jumbotron would flash my image like a little guy dressed in long shorts and a jersey. And now, fresh off his 3-game, 62-point scoring streak, the youngest player to ever do so in NBA history, Frequency Vibrations. So me and Vic would sit in those empty bleachers at the Dome and dream like nobody's business. And now I'm living a dream. For real. And in so many ways, Vic was part of that.
Please, listen to me. I mean, I know this guy's your dude from way back.
Look, me and Vic go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
That's good. We go way back. Did you say front seats?
Front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
We go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac. Well, Jiminy Crickets. I'm gonna be the hit once again at Herbie Allen's Sun Valley Shindig because my fellow billionaires love it when I walk and talk that talk.
So that almost sounds...
No, let me tell you exactly what it sounds like. I respect, admire, and most importantly, love you as a human being and a role model. But I pay you a lot. And I mean, I pay you a lot of money to play for my team. And I am in this game to win it. And you can't win it with an albatross around your neck like Vic. So Vic is done. History. And here's some more lingo that I picked up from a former megastar who used to play for me several seasons ago. Thought I would never release him until I did. And now he's the 6th man on a struggling team in Venice. And yeah, I'm talking Venice with the canals and the gondolas and Harry's Bar, not the street ballers next to the fortune tellers on the beach in Cali. This guy used to tell me when he thought there was a player destroying our team, don't be a hero, cut that zero. And that is what I am telling you about Vic, freak. Don't be a hero, cut that zero. The only thing Vic brings into your life is headache and unwanted and unnecessary negative attention. And it will begin to affect your mindset. And when it affects your mindset, it's gonna affect your play. And when it affects your play, it's gonna affect my team. And when it affects my team, it's gonna affect my money. And if it affects my money, Google Translate will become your new freaking friend. I want a championship ring, freak, and I want you to help me get that ring. And banners after banners hanging from the rafters in this arena. So, freak, hear me clearly and hear me good. V, G, Vic, gotta go. Handle your business. And remember, that contract you signed contains a morality clause, a very important clause that revolves around your conduct on and off the court and how it can negatively impact my team. Now, I don't want you to have to learn Italian or Croatian as a second language. And hey, playing pro ball overseas, there's nothing wrong with that. But the arenas are nothing like this, nor will the money be the same. And on top of all of that, this is the US of A, the greatest freaking country in the world. Ask yourself, is Vic worth all that? Think about it. Think long, think wrong.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us any closer at all. I mean, he has so much loyalty to me and to my family. You could see even Cece, has issues with him, but he still loves her. He still loves her.